Hi everybody, it's Erin McGuire here, owner of Pure Light Wellness. I wanted to share a video today with you about anxiety. The statistics of anxiety are just out of control, terrible. It's said that 40 million Americans alone, 40 million Americans suffer from anxiety. That's just a staggering number. That's 18% of the population of this country, just this country alone. So anxiety statistics are through the roof. So many people struggle with it, and I've worked with a lot of clients that struggle with it as well as myself. I've had my own issues with anxiety my whole adult life, and there's been some things that have really helped me to work with my anxiety and help to overcome it too. Now I want to share with you the one thing that I really tell people is that you are not an anxious person, but rather anxiety is a byproduct of an experience that's happened to you, okay, or experiences that have happened to you, more than one, plural, many. So for instance, a lot of the people I work with, myself included, have had a lot of stressful events happen when they were young. Maybe they grew up with an addictive adult, like an alcoholic, or a very abusive parent, or different situations like that, traumatic experiences that can happen when we're children that kind of start to wire our system to be wired for anxiety. And so as an adult, many different things can trigger us, and the slightest little thing can happen and we can have this anxious thought. Now, you don't have to have a traumatic childhood to experience anxiety as an adult. There's many things that can cause anxiety, and really what anxiety is just future tripping, right? We're thinking about the future in a way that causes us anxiety. For instance, maybe you're worried about your financial situation in the future, or your job security. Those kinds of things obviously can bring us anxiety. I wanted to share with you, for instance, one of my clients, when she was young, her parents wanted her to learn multiplication tables. And if she ever got one wrong, they would slap her hands with a ruler. So she has this major anxiety now as an adult around authority figures and doing everything perfectly. So, perfectionism really comes into play when it comes to anxiety. So again, I want to remind you that you're not an anxious person, but rather anxiety is a byproduct of an experience or experiences that have happened to you. And how do we really cure anxiety? And I'm not talking about going to your doctor and getting put on a pill, which unfortunately this country is very big on, which is giving us drugs to kind of tame whatever we're feeling. Same goes with depression. Actually, studies have been shown that depression and anxiety affect the same areas of the brain. It's just depression, you're kind of stuck on thinking about the past, and anxiety, we're worried about the future. So how do we stop ourselves from doing this and kind of imagining these terrible things happening to us? Because again, if you're wired for anxiety, if you're prone to it, it doesn't mean you're still living those experiences that once caused you trauma. It just means that kind of anything that happens in your environment now that seems out of place, or maybe it could be something as simple as your friend didn't text you back right away and you get anxiety because you think that they're mad at you. All of those things, those are not normal reactions to life's stimulus. And so how do we bring it back and really deal with the problem at hand rather than, again, going to your doctor and getting a pill? And the way that I see this happening and seeing my clients get a lot of help from this as well as myself is to go back to that early experience that happened. So I'd like you to try this with me, and let's see if this helps your anxiety today. So I just want you to close your eyes and think about the very most recent time you experienced anxiety. So maybe it just happened today, or maybe it was yesterday or last week, but the most recent time that you felt anxious or worried about something, okay? So find that most recent experience, and now I want you to tune in, maybe pause the video and write down if you need to, but I want you to tune into how does that anxiety feel in your body? Do you feel it in a particular area? Do you feel maybe your chest feels like it's tight or your stomach starts to feel a little nauseous? Do you feel it in a particular area in your body? So just close your eyes and tune in. Tap into that feeling of anxiousness or worry. Good, so just take a mental note of that and really tap into the feeling. And then notice, is there any image associated with this feeling? Is there any color? Just notice if there's any pictures. And then I want you to think about the very first time you ever felt this way. The very first time. So I want you to go way back. Maybe as early as childhood. Maybe it was, several years ago, whatever. The very first time you felt the same feeling you're feeling in your body right now. Go back to that very first experience. And so you might not see something very clearly. You might hear a number like 4, like the age of 4. A flash of a memory might come to your mind. But that's the first experience where you felt this feeling of anxiety. So just go to that for a moment. And if you get an image, or a picture, it's almost like we're watching a movie outside of ourselves, even though it's us in that movie, an older version of ourselves, younger version, I should say. I want you to just watch that movie for a second. So some of you may not be experiencing this at all, and it might take you time to really conjure up an image in your imagination from the past. But if you are there, if you do have that memory or that image of yourself, I want you to just pretend that you could freeze frame that situation. And I want you, as the adult you, to walk in and be with the younger you in that situation. So grab your younger you's hand and just hold it and just tell them that it's okay, that you're here with them now and that you're present with them. Give them a hug, and then you can imagine just taking them out of that situation and taking them somewhere safe. And working with your inner child in this way. So I do have another video on doing inner child work. If you'd like to go back and find that video, that'll help you do some inner child work. And then also I'm going to post a link below. If you'd like to get my emotional empowerment, it's an MP3 that'll lead you through a deep meditation into guiding you through this process. It's a really helpful process to go actually into the feeling that you're experiencing. I'll leave a link for you to get that below. But this is a great exercise to go back to that very first experience and take your smaller self, your younger you, out of the experience and show them that you're there for them now. Now, this isn't about creating, 2 different parts of yourself. What it is about retraining and helping that younger you to know that they're safe. Because when we're feeling anxious as an adult, it's because there's a part of us that feels unsafe. There's a part of us, from that early childhood experience or wherever it happened that didn't feel safe then, and doesn't feel safe in this current situation. So you want to take them out of that situation and show them that you're kind of like their superhero. In other words, you're like the Wonder Woman or the Superman that's there to save them. So I hope this video helps. Please leave a comment below if you have any particular questions around anxiety, and to share with me how anxiety affects you in your life in particular. And stay tuned. My next video will be on anxiety and on some really particular techniques that'll help you manage your anxiety. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Please subscribe to my channel and share this with your friends. I would really appreciate getting the message out more. Thank you again.